Okay, so we're just going to talk about some Facebook ad stuff. First, just general stuff, and then just kind of tips and suggestions. And then I'm going to take you through how to find a good target audience so that you can make really effective Facebook ads. So Facebook is an awesome platform because with over 1 billion users, you can almost everybody's on there. Anyone you could possibly sell to. So here's just a campaign we just ran. Assistant clicking. You can see that, oh, the battery's dead. Okay, so you can see at the top one that was just an online visit webinar, and then the one below is actually a video ad, and that only had 13 cents per click, which is just insane. And video ads do really well, we're finding, and because of the way you can target and just the high quality that Facebook rewards you, and then the clicks are cheaper. Oh, thank you.
So maybe before you go, was one of those campaigns video?
Yeah, the one on the bottom is a video, and the one on the top is just a normal graphic ad. Okay, so yeah. You know, I check it once or twice every day, and I kind of watch it. So this ad probably only ran though maybe 3 days. So we got this based on our targeting that we had in place, and also targeting our custom audiences. So people that have landed on our pages already, and that just reduces the cost overall. So right, so our design team made graphics, but Facebook actually does have stock photos that we can use as well. They just don't have any text on them. So 26,000 impressions, 229 clicks, and 24 cents per click, and $57 total. The what? Relevancy?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, there's another column that has relevancy. How relevant was your ad?
Oh, I wouldn't.
What he's saying, we went after you get 500 impressions right.
Yeah.
Still give you a relevance on how good your ad's going.
I wouldn't know that offhand. And actually, Dom does all the work. So I've set up ads for myself. I set up ads for my husband's business, my other business that we do together. And actually, Dom ran this. So I have a good understanding what all this means. I do it for myself, do it for my wad bottom business, but this specifically, I have not seen the back end of what this full campaign is. Okay, so just remember that Facebook they're running ads for you as a business. Like, they need to make money too, so you kind of have to keep that in mind, and that's just part of the process. But it's such a great platform that it can be worth it. And they're constantly changing, and if you're not careful, it is really easy to lose money. If you go in there without doing your research, you can certainly spend a whole lot of money without a lot of really great results. And then the key is to split test all of your data as well. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to go through this part kind of briefly because I'm going to go through in the next slideshow I have about targeted audience and how to find those audiences. But you can target things like how old they are, male and female, what interests, demographics, those kinds of things. You can set that all up in your ad platform. And then also, you're going to be setting up your own graphics, and you want to test those graphics. So in one campaign, you want to have a lot of different ads running, and you can pick different copy, different graphics, and Facebook will then give preferential treatment to the ads and campaigns that are better performing. So if you set up 6, for example, 6 ads under one campaign, and maybe the first 4 are doing really well, maybe only 1 is doing really well, Facebook will turn off the other ones and give priority to the ad that's actually functioning the best. No, it'll be there. They just won't send the traffic to it or won't show it. And here's just an example of some ad graphics. You can see, I know Facebook did say that they are discontinuing the 20% ad rule. Except they do still give preferential treatment to ads that that have less text and have interesting graphics like this. So if you fill up the whole thing, Facebook is still under the mentality of if you're not providing valuable content, or not providing value to the users of Facebook, we're not going to give priority to your ad. So don't go slam up free webinar, blah blah blah. It probably won't be approved. And if it is approved, they're not going to give you the traffic that you want because it's just so low. You know, it's not good looking. So you still have to keep in mind of that general rule. All right, so here's the other part of the ads component is the sales copy. You know, what is going to be your call to action? What's the headline in your ad? It needs to be concise and super clear. You don't get a lot of room to do it in, so make sure that you do have that really clear. And you can split test this part as well. And here's an example. It says, with Hootsuite Pro Your Business, try it free for 30 days. It's a really great call to action and offer. And then they have additional text here. And then you can see that they've put their URL, their display URL is hootsuite.com/free trial. Now, I run ads for my husband's business, and he manufactures silicone wedding rings. So it's big in the CrossFit world, but like electricians could use them. Anyway, he sells them on Amazon and his own site. And when creating ads, I created the ad, and instead of having Amazon.com/silicone rings .. I would just had Amazon here. So when running the ads, people seeing the ad would be like, oh, here's an offer from Amazon. So it's just kind of you get to control what's displayed here. Huh? Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't even have to list what that URL is. You could just say free trial there if you wanted to. Okay, what do we have? What's happened? I have another slide. Okay, so here's just the FB ad image sizes. These are also online. Don't worry about trying to jot them down really quickly. Just Google Facebook ad image sizes, and you'll probably find this exact graph actually, because we just snapshotted it. And then here's the campaign setup. So you can have one campaign, and then you have different ad sets to test, budgeting, bidding, targeting, placement. And then these would be like different ad graphics and different copy under each one. Does that make sense? So the one campaign, it'd be like if I had Wad Bottom Father's Day, for example. And then I'd have different ad sets targeting maybe men, targeting women, and then different ads and graphics and copy to kind of target that gender better. But it'd be under one campaign. Okay, so split testing. It's very, very important to split test. It makes a huge difference on what you're spending and the success, so don't forget to do that. They don't make it difficult. It's just a different ad set, which you can then copy and adjust. I'm ready. You can duplicate the one and just kind of change the features from the inside. And I'm going to go in and show you the back end, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Here's another image of split testing. So in this, they just had many different versions. They tested the image, tested the copy. And then the most successful strategy is to get clicks to your website, then do website conversions and making sure you have the pixels in your website. And that leads into all this as well. So you'll have, let's say you have an opt-in page, you're collecting email addresses, and you can see who has landed on that opt-in page. Then you would also track who has hit the thank you page, which means they've opted in. And then, or if you have a sales page, so this would be the checkout page and the registration page. So just the same, but it'd be a checkout. And then retargeting those visitors. So you can retarget people that have visited here but didn't hit another page. You can also retarget people that maybe opted in for your book, and then you can retarget saying, with an ad saying, how did you like this book? You could even send them an affiliate product saying, noticed you downloaded the book. I think this affiliate product or my product would go really well with that purchase or with that book. So just as a takeaway, you want to be super clear, be concise, and make sure you split test all of your ads as well. Don't just have one campaign with one ad set. That would be the recipe for failure. Okay, so now I'm going to go into, and you guys are going to do it with me, so you need a Google open. You also need a piece of paper because it gets messy on the paper. It's kind of fun, actually. Okay, so this next session is going to be about targeting, Facebook targeting. And if you see my notes when I do this, it's kind of crazy. I have like a whole 8 by 11 page full of my notes. And then I take those notes and then I go to Facebook. So I don't start in Facebook. I actually start inside of Google. So again, Facebook is really cool because they're tracking everything we do. We've basically told them what we like, what we don't like, and even where we like shopping. And elsewhere on the web. So this is just a snapshot of my current likes. I have Andy's husband's site, Growing Spanish. My kids are in a Spanish immersion program. Amazon, Kids Building. Facebook has a really good idea of what I like and all of my behavior, how I interact with people on Facebook and my ads. And so if you're outside of Facebook, you may be wondering, how do they know if I purchase something from Nordstrom's? If I don't like Nordstrom's fan page, it's a shopping store. Do you have one in Australia? Nordstrom's? No? Another store. Target. You have Target. So how does Facebook know that I went to Target and I purchased something? Target.com. Target. Well, there's something called pixels that you place on the site, and when you do that, you're basically telling, or when websites do that, they're basically tracking everything you do. So this is my husband's wad bottom company. And you can see up in the corner here, I put on a little pixel checker just to make sure pixels are set up properly. But every time in Chrome you go to a site and this little green thing pops up here, that means there's a pixel on that site and they're watching what you're doing. Kind of creepy. The pixel tracker? And the tester. So if you just Google Facebook Pixel Helper, it's a plugin that you install on your browser. So you have to do it in Chrome only. It's totally free to use. You get to this page, it looks like this. Don't be confused with the depreciated version. If you Google it, you might end up on a depreciated page. You just click a little link to find the new one. And then you just click Add to Chrome. And that's literally it. It adds it to the top of your browser bar. So this is good. I mean, it's kind of neat to see when a store is seeing what I'm doing, just kind of out of randomness, but to know that they are watching. But it's also really good if you're having problems, if you set up a pixel and it's not showing up in your ad account, like it's just not registering saying, oh yeah, it's active, then you can use this pixel helper and see, is it actually on the page, and then troubleshoot it from there. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is interest targeting. There's a couple things that you will look at when you're doing your ads. The first thing is where are the people? Locationally, where are you targeting them? And the best rule of thumb here is to be, where are your customers? Who is buying from you? If you have, like for Wad Bottom, for example, we'll ship pretty much anywhere in the world. But if we have the top 6 countries of where people purchase our product, then I'm going to target those top 6 countries. I'm not going to target France, because we've only sold one ring to France, that type of thing. So targeting is very important. If you're a coach and you only help people in your region, then you wouldn't want to target someone in the US. It just would not make any sense. Okay, so then the next thing you're doing is targeting your age, the age range of the people. And this, I'm not going to show you a tool you can use that Facebook gives you for free, but don't try and assume that you know who the age is and the gender is of people that might be your target audience. Do a little bit of research, and I'll show you that free tool as one of the last slides. And then you also can focus on languages. And then this detailed targeting is what we're going to get into. It lets you look at demographics, behaviors, and interests. And I'm going to show you how to do that really, really well. Okay, so behavior and then custom audience. So that's behavior and demographics. You do this in the same spot. So it's demographics, interests, and behaviors all right here. So the next are custom audiences. This is another way you can target people in your ads. And custom audiences are something that you do after you've been, you've had your pixel installed, you've been adding or running some ads for a while. Because what this does is you say, I want to target people that have been to my website or been to this specific opt-in page or something. So, but you would need to have people that have hit that already. One thing you can do when you're setting up ads is do this ahead of time, and then you'll continually be growing this audience. Then the customer file is, let's say I have a list of 10,000 emails of people before I started running ads. I can upload those email addresses or phone numbers into this customer file, and Facebook will find if there's a profile related to that phone number or that email address, and I can target to those people specifically. If you have, Allie has like a huge file of business cards, for example, you could take those business cards, put them in an Excel spreadsheet, and upload them to Facebook. Oops. And target those people. Hopefully they would recognize your name. But it's a good way to, it's not breaking any spam laws, which is nice, because you're not going to be sending a massive email to all those people, but you can gently say, I was there at that convention, or, you know, maybe put your face on the ad graphics so they would recognize you, and then go about that way. And then, so then the app activity, if you have an app on Facebook, whether it's an iframe, or maybe you've created a game, who knows, more likely like an iframe for an opt-in page in your fan page, you can target people that have interacted with that app. So then there's the lookalike audiences. And the lookalike audiences, after you've had some traffic come to your page and you've been growing this list that Facebook holds on to you, they can see who's looked at your ad, who's gone to your website, blah, 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 blah. You can then create an ad that targets people that are similar to those people. So if you have, you know, rural country women, for example, and you want to help them with their, you know, whatever, Facebook will also find people that are similar to those people based on their looks, their location, their demographic. So it's a very handy tool and not used. Yeah.
Sorry, how do you do that?
You do this in your when you're setting up ads.
So you set up the ad.
Yeah, you'll see a drop down that says audiences or create audience. So you'll create an audience based on the pages that you create, and then this is the lookalike audience.
And one question is, once you've got the pixel and people are driving for traffic, how do we nominate that your pixel list to upload to the reader?
Can you say that one more time?
So you've got a list of people that have been to your web page because you've got the pixel.
Mm-hmm.
How do you retarget that?
You'd be setting up a retargeting. So you can set up your ad, you select your audience, and that audience would be people that have been to my website, or people that have been to this URL.
Okay, that's easy.
Yeah, they make it pretty simple. They make it pretty simple to follow. If you're looking, just look for the words audience, website audience, lookalike audience. It's all in the same drop down.
So what you're saying, so if we're one of pixel, right?
Yeah.
We've got a bucket of names. We go to start a new ad. We click down that name or that pixel should be in that list. That drop down. Like I think
So for audiences and custom audiences, because this is like it's a custom audience, but it's a lookalike audience. You have to set up those audiences ahead of time, so that when you're setting up an ad here, you would select that custom audience.
yeah, so what I'm saying is we've already done a Facebook pixel and we've got a bucket of names.
Yeah.
You should be able to click it down and should say, I think they just manually give you a default thing called conversion pixel. I think mine's called West Coast conversion pixel. That there would be a collected name.
So yeah. Yeah.
What you're saying is that before you do your pixel, you should rename it.
You should rename it to make it easy for you to remember.
When you go to retarget, you know what.
Yeah. And actually, I'm trying to remember the process that I just went through. I think in one ad you can actually target people, and you can also add the lookalike audiences at the same time. Mm-hmm.
Does that pixel help track the people for you? So I'm missing the connection here somewhere.
Okay, so here's
I've never dealt with a pixel before, so I'm kind of
Sure. So let me show. I wonder if I have it somewhere easy on this computer. At home, I have a little Apple thing that sits on my desk, and I have 2 monitors. And then, so this is not normally what I'd use, but let me see if I have it in my notes, so you can see what a pixel looks like.
So we've added the pixel helper there. Is that actually now tracking it for us?
Nope. So here's what a pixel looks like.
Can't see anything.
Can't see a thing. Oh, no. Of course you can. There's a pixel. Let me just make it bigger. It's irrelevant what the letters say, so it's not too important. Okay, so everybody will use the same code except this little part right here. This will be unique to you.
Does Facebook generate that for you? Or
So if you go to your Facebook ads and go to, and I like to use Chrome personally because they have the Power Editor, just a lot of things you might not see if you use a different browser. And then you go to Pixels, it's in the top menu on the right, or it's kind of in the middle of the page, but it's in a menu. And then you see Pixel and then Show Pixel. And then you'll see this code. So you copy this whole thing and you put it on any page that you want to track. So, for example, if I have a website, like the businessformulas.com, for example, I want to track every page. So I would edit the WordPress file and I would paste it into between the header codes. That is pretty common to put something in the header because, this is getting technical, I'm sorry. So if you use ClickFunnels or any other of those tools, they probably have a spot where you would actually just paste this into a field and they put it in for you so you don't have to struggle with where to put it. If you're using WordPress, the theme might do it for you, or maybe there's a plugin you're using. Otherwise, you just click edit on one of the files.
So the concept there is, because you put that code in each time the person hits that page, it actually tracks it for you, and then that goes back to Facebook.
And then Facebook knows that person was there.
All right, and then you use that, so you create a list in Facebook.
It's not like you're collecting their email lists, or you can see who they are, actually.
You don't know who they are.
You don't, except when you retarget, you'll see your audience grow. When you then create an ad, you can see how big your audience is. So I mean, you don't know who they are. Facebook won't tell you, but you get to target. It's like Wes said it perfectly. It's like a bucket. You don't get to see what's in the bucket, but it's filling.
It's just like a brain. Okay, this person has a brain across their head. You know who they are.
If you've ever been to Amazon or shopping online, and then you go back to Facebook, and all of a sudden it's showing you that sweater that you had looked at.
I've seen that many times.
Can be creepy. Sometimes I've said, hey, I want a white sweater. All of a sudden I go to Facebook and I'm seeing ads for white sweaters. I don't know if it's a coincidence.
But
I don't know.
It's not only Facebook pages, it's other pages.
So then they're having an ad network script on their site. So if you go to a blog and they have the ad, they're part of the ad network, then it's going to show you that ad. Spooky, kind of fun, interesting stuff. Okay, but all this is relevant if you don't know who to target, right? So let's go to that, which is not on the screen anymore. Okay, so does everyone have their paper ready and Google open? Okay, so this is what I like to do when I'm doing my research. I go through this list of items and I create my focus on that. No need to jot them down right now. I took a snapshot, I'll upload it to the group, but also we're going to go through each one by one. So the first one is, who are the authority figures, thought leaders, or big brands in your niche? So you want to do research on who that is. So for example, if I have a tennis program, maybe it's an ebook, how to do tennis better, or maybe I'm selling the tennis rackets, for example. How am I going to find the right audience to sell to those people? And doing my targeting research about who are the thought leaders, big brands in your niche, I would think, is Cabela's or Dick's Sporting Goods or Academy Sports or just the word tennis good for targeting? And the answer is no, because they're such huge brands that you're not for sure if, are these people just going to be interested in tennis? You're going to be targeting people that like golf and fishing and weightlifting. It'd just be a bad audience. So you really have to hone in as to where those people are. And a lot of times I'll see people use this as interest targeting when they're setting up their ads. And that's just also too broad because while I like tennis, I might click like, yep, I like tennis, it's fun. I actually don't play tennis more than once a year. I would not be the right audience, even though I like tennis. Kind of cool. Okay, so when you're doing your research, you can say top tennis athletes. So in your niche, Google top people. I mean, this is example. It's go to Google. What's your niche? Yours might be internet marketing. I don't know. Yeah. So top internet marketers would be an example. You're looking for people, big brands in your niche. So here's an example. I typed in top tennis players, actually, I think. And Google will give me a list of those people. Now, you don't want, obviously, the most famous person. If I did, like, Serena Williams, that's not finding people that are really passionate about tennis. It's just, she's such a big name that she has other followers as well. I think I have a picture of what that means. Yeah, so here's what I mean by that. So who here knows who Serena Williams is or Maria Sharapova? Almost everyone. She's this really strong black woman, and Maria is this, good but beautiful athlete, They all know. You all know. Okay, but who here knows who Julia Gorgas is? Or Steffi Graf? Steffi Graf actually has won. Graf. Maybe, I think she might be from Australia, so, no? Okay, well, what I'm going to do is, if you could swap these people, because I bet you guys, you know who she is, but you probably don't think, I know, that's why I tried to use her as an example, but I don't know tennis that well. I know who these people are. I did my research, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she has a lot of awards. I guess I'll put her in, but I don't recognize her name. So my point is that you guys know who she is, but you probably don't play tennis all that much. So you probably aren't. You need to switch these around. Julia won world championships, blah, 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 but only people who really know tennis or need tennis items, new tennis racket, new tennis tape, or new tennis shoes, or whatever, would know who she is, most likely. So it's the non-tennis players, casual tennis players, boop, boop, and tennis enthusiasts are in the middle. So you want to go over these enthusiasts. That make sense? Okay, so the next question is, I'm actually going to give you some time to do this research, because then we're going to go into Facebook together. I'm going to show you how to find these people, or big brands. So let's go back here. Authority figures, thought leaders, and big brands in your niche. So if you could just do the Google searches, take it out on your piece of paper, write some of those names down. I did this for Wad Bottom, and because our audience is a lot of CrossFitters, I typed in top CrossFit athletes, and I went through the list and picked them out. Your personal development, yes, and you want to reach the people in your niche, that they are women that probably, did they follow personal development before or anything like that? I think some of the next questions might suit you better because farmers ladies might know more about equipment and farming equipment, that kind of stuff. So that we'll go through that, but you could search that as well. They could. It might be helpful to maybe talk to someone in and just kind of see what they're interested in. Another thing you can do, I'm going to show you the audience research. Yeah. Yeah. So they probably follow, travel sites, travel blogs, and all that kind of thing. Yeah, but don't assume though, because I did that stuff. I did that too for CrossFit. I'm like, well, I like CrossFit, but you learn a lot when you do your research. So try your best with this question. Some of the other questions might help you better, and you can still go through the process of interest targeting. Okay.
So we're doing internet marketing, for example.
Yep. Top internet marketers, or top internet marketing platforms, or something like that. Yeah, and that's kind of a nice, easier niche almost when you're doing like who are the authority figures, because if you're not in internet marketing, they don't get a lot of flair. Tony Robbins would be a bad example because a lot of people know who he is, but he's he's an internet marketer. He's a marketer selling products. But in your case, if it's like even Ryan Dice, for example, you probably won't know who he is unless you're in internet marketing.
So what if you start holding on to it's like start an online business, you get into Shopify,
So focus on top internet marketers first, and do your personal. Start there, because we're going to then search for people who like those people in the ads, which is the point. Yeah, so you're going to create an audience inside of your ad based on this research, and it's not just this question, it's the next question, and then the next I have after that as well. Does anyone want to share kind of what they've found? You're problematic. It's kind of hard because I could see how you could do locational targeting and say, I want to target people within a 100-mile radius of this city, only the people who like Oprah. And you will probably get, if that's kind of what those ladies like. They're at the beginning stages of thinking about doing something and not necessarily in there yet. And you're going to help them get there. Yeah, but there's other, we'll go into it, but like interest. Yeah, but they like, for example, I'm not a rural lady, so it's kind of hard to create examples where you're well, and that's actually something you can search for as an interest inside of, yeah. So when you are searching empty nesting, you'll see you can do like people who like pages about empty nesting, and so that is certainly something. But you also want to make sure you're doing the demographics. Well, no, that part's actually in Facebook. You might search, let's see, but you want to find an authority. Why don't you do Empty Nesters blog? We actually don't listen to this. I'm on mic, but don't listen. We do this part next, actually. But that's kind of where you are. You would skip this part and go to the next question. You are creating your own audience right there. Does anyone want to share some of their top, like, what's your niche and who did you find as an authority figure or a thought leader? Or a big brand? No pressure. Just curious.
Jane Fonda has done a great TED talk on the third act,
Mhm.
which is really, she's sort of always, from there she's been beyond.
Jane Fonda is a big name. I mean, the risk there is that Jane Fonda is a humongous name. But again, you're more in the, not coaching, but yeah, you're kind of in that kind of same field. So you'll be doing something similar because you will be more geographical based. So you could say people who like Jane Fonda, but you might also want to skip this question and go to the next and focus more on the next ones, just because of that reason. Do you focus on people who you want to sell to? Do they already have some notion of coaching already? Well, why don't you focus on the 50 that do have already in there? Sib's people probably don't, because she's just getting to them first off. But why don't you, just as a work, just to do something, think about the people that might already have it. So what are some top women coaches, top women personal development, that kind of thing, and then find them that way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Really? Congratulations! Look at that. There you are. Rita, you're feminist. Feels good, huh? So she searched, sorry. Rhea searched top vision something or other, and she came up, which is pretty sweet. Okay, so are we ready for the next question? The next question is, what books, magazines, newspapers does your ideal customer read? So in the tennis example, I typed in top tennis magazines. Now, I want to find magazines that are specifically tennis, because if it's like Court Sports Monthly, and that's the magazine, yes, there will be people that like tennis that might read Court Sports, but then also basketball and other balls, racquetballs. I think that's on a court. I mean, do you see what I'm saying? No, it's not specifically about tennis. So what I'm doing is take a note of tennis and your specific niche newspapers, magazines, and books. And then make a note of those on your paper. So at the end, you'll have a messy piece of paper, and we're going to take all that you wrote down, and we're going to go to the ads and find people. Okay, so the next thing you can do, which is next thing you can do is, in this example, I have top tennis tournaments. So if you're in the sports field, or maybe your niche has conferences, you can also do top IM conferences, for example, internet marketing conferences. And another thing you could search for under the same question is to do top tennis forums or top internet marketing forums and hear what people are talking about. And then, or find those top ones that are specific to your niche. So in the tennis niche, it would be just tennis forums. I wouldn't want to be court sport forums because it's not a targeted tennis audience. So I put this list back up here, but events would be the conferences or tournaments or races, that type of thing. Websites would be the forums, blogs, perhaps. Yep, I'll keep this one up while you guys do your work. So you putting the word top in front of your search will get you lists and kind of get you going on that right track to create your own little notepad of notes. So I'm gonna give you guys 10 more minutes to get your list down. And then once you have finished that, please open up Facebook, preferably Chrome, because that's what I'll be using. And I'm gonna be using the Power Editor. So open Facebook, Google Facebook Power Editor, and make sure your ad account is ready to kind of look at audiences. And then we're gonna go through that together. You don't need to start the ad, but I want to show you how to do it so that you can come back and do it later when you're ready for traffic. So Google Facebook Power Editor in Chrome. You have to use Chrome. Say that again? You mean the URL? Let me get the URL and I'll show you. So it's facebook.com/ads/manage/Power Editor. So you have to be logged into Facebook and then just make sure it's ready to go. It will look like this when you're logged in, except without all the lines there.
How do you stay up to date with Facebook?
It's a daily struggle. Facebook has, depends where you are. So if something changes in Facebook ads, they tend to send a message, or when you first log in, they say, hey, we made this change, we're working on this, do you want a tour? So that's pretty common. But also we're doing it every day, so we're kind of seeing what's working and what's not working at any given time. Plus we read internet marketing blogs and kind of stay on top of it that way too.
They don't have a sort of what's new, what's coming out.
They do have it's in their help center. And you can see the latest Facebook news, although when I don't find that it's super updated all the time. So that's not, I'm going to go there, but it's not the first place I would look. If you ever want a really great person to follow that does specifically Facebook ads, the guy's name is John Loomer. Maybe you've heard of him. He's it's Jon Loomer, Loomer. I read his blog. He's just really great at kind of laying out the process. Loomer. Just johnloomer.com. JONLOOMER.com. Huh? No H. Okay. What was that?
How do we get back to the ads you've already created and change them without going into the manager?
If you just go to Facebook and ads and not click in the manager, then you'll be there. ABS. If you go to, when you're at your news feed on the left-hand side, you should be able to see manage ads. That's probably the easiest way to click through. Oh yeah, he goes. He writes a novel practically every time he does a blog post, and he takes snapshots and everything. What was that? Really? Hey, that is a great place to look, though. If you target a dating website that's specifically for people over a certain age range, and you target just females, then you are, I don't know are you going after females? Yeah. Then you will be getting women at that age that are during a life change. Actually, pretty brilliant. Good job. Good research. So if you don't have Chrome, you can download it for free. And if you don't feel like doing that, you can still do the exact same process we're doing in pretty much any browser. Chrome or the Power Editor just lets you see extra stuff, which is not necessary for this exercise. So while we're still doing the exercise, actually, I want to show you another slide or two. Where's my browser? Okay, here are just some other things that you can Google if this is an example. So tennis brands, tennis racket brands, using the word brands as a Google search term. And then also just if you're business to business looking for other business owners, here are some search terms you could also use. So top blank associations, top conferences. Like if you're a therapist, you could say top therapist associations or whatever word you might actually use. Top therapist conferences or organizations or trade shows. If you have more equipment-based people that you want to find equipment manufacturing owners, then you would search top equipment manufacturers, like tennis, for example, top tennis equipment manufacturers. I would be able to find people who are interested in the equipment manufacturers based on their activity on Facebook and find maybe the store owner who sells tennis rackets, for example. So that would be for finding. Dentists would be another really great example. Top dentist associations, top magazines for dentists, because then you're going to be reaching the right people. And then just because I'll put this back, but I really want to quickly show you this tool here. It's inside of Facebook ads. It's called, what's it called? Audience Insights. And you can do this and find out a lot about who your audience is based on their interests. So you can do people connected to, like I might say, CrossFit or Rogue is another really big brand. And I could kind of get an estimation of what the age range is and what's the gender breakout, and see what other things that they are interested in and have a lifestyle in. So that's called Audience, what did I say, Insights? Okay, but I'll go back there so you can see those phrases. Just Google Facebook Audience Insights, and you'll get back there. I know I can access it from the Facebook ads platform. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 5 more minutes just to kind of do this type of search and use Audience Insights, and then we're gonna go do the ads. Sound good? Good timing? That's where I am. Okay, guys. So this naming process is just for your benefit. If you're running a short-term campaign for a holiday, for example, you might say your business name Christmas campaign, for example. If it's or in the case where you're maybe retargeting visitors, it could be your business name retargeting. You know, it's just for your reference. It won't affect performance on the ad or anything. So I'm just going to call them GTS test. So you can get through this process and not turn it on. In fact, I think you can go through this process without even setting up payment options. Okay, so I just turned on an ad set, turned on create new ad, and then I'll go through the process of setting these up and click create. I just said GTS test 1 all the way down. Oh, let me dim the light a little bit. So now that the campaign is set up, I now want to click on the left, and I will open up the ad sets for this ad. Okay, so here on the right, you can see you can set your daily budget for this ad. You can also schedule the start and end time. So like if it's for Christmas and you want to run it from November 15th until December 25th, for example, you could set up that time frame so that it automatically ends and you don't have to make sure you're in there ending it. Or if it's, or if you want it to go on like just a retargeting ad, you could have it indefinite and say, I only want to spend $5 a day, but I want to retarget all the website visitors, for example. So what I did, yeah, you're curious how I got here? Okay, so after I clicked create, I was in the so I clicked whatever, and then this was what I saw after I clicked create. So if I'm just going to show everyone else the next thing I did, and that I just clicked on the actual campaign name. So that way I would only see ad sets and the actual ads for this one campaign. It's just kind of easier to look at. Yeah, so this will create the minimum needed to create an actual ad, and then you can just name it the same and name it the same, and then click create. Mm-hmm. So you're just down here, and you're fine. So before I was up here in campaigns, and then it goes to ad sets, and then you'll see what I do. It just pops. So it just didn't pop open automatically, but I am on this one. So if you click on the top one, and then you'll see right there. So Sid just told me she doesn't have the right side of the screen. So if that doesn't pop out automatically for you, look on the right here, all the way over here, and click on the pencil. And then that will get you to this screen. Okay, so then the next thing you want to do is if you have an audience already set up, you can select that audience. So for example, I can browse and I can target, my lookalike audiences that are similar to people that have landed on my page. So this says the digitalmarketermeetup.com page. So other people landed on digitalmarketermeetup.com, and Facebook's finding 151,000 people that are similar to the people that went to that web page, and I can target them. And they're similar because they are interested in the same things. They've maybe landed on other websites that are in the same niche, and now I can target to those people as well. Okay, so most likely, unless you've done ads before, you haven't set this part up, and I can show you how to do that. But for now, what you'll do is you can create a new custom audience. Let's see where that takes us.
So what would you recommend to be our daily budget to start with?
I would start small while you're testing, and then increase it after you've proven your conversions and that kind of thing. So that way you can say, okay, if I spend $5 in ads, I'm going to get an $8 return. So you'll make $3. Yeah. Okay, so I just clicked on, in order to do this, you will have to have set up pixels on your site, otherwise you won't see anything. It's just going to say you haven't done that part yet. But you can see that that's where you would do it, and this will actually create it for you and take you through the process. I'm going to skip this part right now because it's a little bit more, and I want to show you how to set up your targeting and your interest targeting first. And if you want to go through this process in another session, then I can do that. We can make the time for it. Cool. Okay, so here, this is going to look pretty familiar. I showed you earlier what on my slideshow. So again, you pick your locations. If you're in the e-market or internet marketing, obviously the English-speaking countries are going to be in your niche. So that's the US, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, those types of countries. And then if you have an idea of your age range, or you want to target only people over the age of 45, for example, you can set up that targeting, and the same with men and our gender. But here's kind of the fun part. So I'm just going to go with the CrossFit example because, or tennis. Did I write down my tennis stuff? Who is that tennis gal that was, but not the good one? I mean, not the really awesome one. What was the one that nobody knew? So what you want to do is, the questions I asked you, and you wrote down the names of the professionals, the top whatever in your niche. Start typing their names in here. Not every single name that you wrote down on your notes is going to pop up here. When I did this for CrossFit, internet marketers are all on here, first of all. Many of them are. So if you're in that niche, they should be easy to find. But if you're in any other niche, it's like 50% of the people will have created some sort of fan page. So like one person, let me just see, Thoris Daughter is her name. I actually don't know how to spell her name. I'm not even going to try. Okay, so that was like Julia. What's her name? Gorgas. No, yes, no, it's this one. No, it's this one. It's this one. Steffi's the one all of you knew, but not all of you like tennis. Is that the same name? Okay, that's great. So she has some sort of fan page, or people have created some interest in her in other ways. She doesn't necessarily need to have a fan page. Maybe someone wrote that, like if you have a new account in Facebook, it says type in some things you're interested in, and that kind of creates a page for her. Not technically a full page, just kind of like an info page. And then I would want to keep adding those people. So if I were to have done my tennis example through the whole thing, and I had and maybe I just wanted to target women, for example. So I might go after just women tennis players, because I think people who are passionate and do tennis on a daily basis, they might want a pink tennis skirt or whatever. Who knows? And then I would maybe just target the women tennis players, because those are probably the people that they look up to the most. So anyway, I'd get my 10 women, I'd go in here and see if I can target those names inside of Facebook. So after doing the names, then I would go through the next process. In the same detailed targeting section, I'd then go do the books, the magazines, conventions, or whatever else we went through. So if you look on your notes, just start typing in some of those notes that you took and add more people. So out of sake of example, I'm going to do Serena Williams. Even though, as we know, that wouldn't be a good example. So I just kind of keep going, and Wilson tennis balls.
And for web pages, just type in the web pages.
Yeah. So one of the things I said don't do is to type in just the one word, like on this example, tennis. Don't select just tennis, but I typed in tennis to scroll down and see what other interests that I can kind of brainstorm with. So there's the U.S. Open, but if I'm selling, tennis rackets, for example, there are a lot of people that like the U.S. Open that don't play tennis. It's a huge conference. I play tennis once a year, but I know what the U.S. Open is, so I shouldn't be targeted. So it's too big of an event in that example. All right, so in this, I just go through go through your magazines, go through the books you found, go through those other things that you found on your list, and just create this custom audience. What you're searching for is like 500,000 to 1 million in audience definition. Now this is huge because I have Serena Williams on here, but now it's too small. So I want to keep searching until I get to that 500,000 to 1 million audience range. If it's too big, you might want to hone it down a little bit more, so you can actually exclude things also from your ads. So Russell Brunson is a humongous name. It might be just a bit too broad.
It's not Branson, it's
Brunson.
It's not Russell Branson, it's Russell.
Oh,
It's not the billionaire.
not the okay.
It's an internet market.
Okay.
So let's say it's with now just with those three people.
So you just might want to hone it down, and you can do that by sites or.
That's it. That's what.
I know it's huge.
Is that too big? Is it?
It's pretty big.
Oh, so we want it down a bit more.
You want it down a little bit more so that it's not such a wide, humongous. That's better.
Too late.
That's what you do. I mean, then you're, in one. So this is just one ad set, and it's ad set for those two people. So just you can create another ad set and target other people, but your campaign name could be famous internet marketers, and that's your campaign name. So you know that this ad that you're setting up, this campaign, is targeting those people.
Within this site part,
Uh-huh.
and I've got these two names. I can set up a second set on the time.
Yeah, so actually, even if you don't want to have to do all the, I'm going to show everybody else this too. If you hear me, I'm going to do this too on the screen. So if you don't want to go, oh, create a brand new one, you can actually just copy this, duplicate it, and then you just change the name so you don't have to do all the work. Have you set up a pixel on the site? Yeah, so then you could, oh, awesome. So yeah, you just kind of go through the process, and so at the bottom you'll see, you can pick the pixel that you want to focus on. It could be in the next step, actually. Yeah, it's already done, actually. It's automatically. So you're sending traffic to your website, right? Yep. So it's going to automatically pick that pixel, and then
So it's going to just automatically
it's going to grow your audience that you can market to.
and if I choose to do that, I can as well.
If you're targeting a different business, like Grasshopper sales, for example, obviously that pixel, you could just put that pixel on another site. No, because when you're setting up your audience, you can say, I want to specifically target people that have landed on nichecashflow.com, and then you could set up a whole other audience, which would then be targeted differently in your campaign, saying, okay, now it's going to be this audience, which is grasshoppers for sale, for example. Mm-hmm. They're pretty big. This is exactly what I was going to say. I'm going to do this up front so that I can show you how you can do it without having too big of an audience. So a lot of the people in this room are targeting internet marketers, which is totally fine because if someone's following an internet marketer, they're interested in marketing and driving traffic and making money online, right? Which is your target audience. But if you go in here and you put in like an internet marketer name, your audience is going to be really huge. So instead of having this really huge audience by keeping adding more people, just go over here and you can click on duplicate, and you can click on keep same campaign change, or confirm whatever that word said, and then it says copy. So then I can go in here and without having to reset, let me go back here. Without having to reset up the date and the budget and yada, 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 I can just change the names. And then I'd rename it. Like this one might be just Frank Kern, and then I can go to this one and then name that one so that I know just by looking at the name of the ad set who I'm targeting. Does that make sense? No, not really. So you can have one campaign. It's copying the other settings, and then you're just going to change the name. And so this way you can, maybe targeting Frank Kern doesn't get you any sales, but targeting Ryan Dice does. And this would be one of the versions of split testing, yeah. In this example.
When you do the duplicate, you got to delete the other ones that you had in the process.
No, when you go to duplicate, just rename them. So this is the first one I created, and then
the targeted audience is duplicated.
it's everything is the same still. So you just scroll down until you get to where the interests are and delete that interest. So now if you wanted to, it was this right here. you might want to just hone it in a bit more. So there's Frank Kern. I can exclude people and narrow the audience. So maybe I want people that like Frank Kern, but they don't like Ryan Deiss, for example, or they don't like AWeber, or, just to slim it down. And it really just depends on, obviously, the product and who in this specific case, or like, what's your message to the people. And that can help you exclude or include people. They're huge, right? Yeah, because they're top in their game. And in internet marketing, like I was saying before, if you're not into internet marketing, you probably don't know who they are, which is different than tennis and golf, because like we all know who Serena Williams is, but we probably don't play tennis. So it's just a different instance. Okay, so once you've done this, then you want to go to the next step, which would be creating.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
Before we step through, a lot of us, right, have just got the create ad set right, we get to here, it's not giving us the option of the audience input.
Up here, at this part here, custom audience.
It doesn't give us the option to enter any more, like destination URLs.
So you just might be in the next step, actually. Sounds like, yeah, you're here. So click up here, and then you'll see what I see. So this is where you want to start doing your targeting right here. Okay.
When you third ad set, you don't do any of your targeting.
In the next step, where you start putting up your pictures and that kind of thing, that is the next step.
So starting off, you recommend everyone run an outbreak.
I would say start with the easy one. And then once you understand the terms and your audience, and you want to know more about what's happening. Oh, I would start here. Yeah. Versus like the elementary version. Yeah, I would just go here. Because it follows the same template. Okay, you're fine. I would go, so it's kind of taking you through the just basic beginning. So if you send people to your website. Oh, you haven't created ad account yet. Go through this, account country. US or Australia? Okay. So now, let's see, you are where I am right now. It might look a little different because this is your first time. And then after you'll see kind of my version. But the questions will be the same. Oh, okay, I see what you did. So instead of writing and, do one at a time. And then get full magazine on there, and then add another one. How's everyone doing with this step? I see furrowed brows. Yeah. Yep. Because you've duplicated everything that was under here exactly. Well, when you first did it, it was called Thailand. You know, in the first step, you said Thailand. Yeah, the first where you started campaign ad. But so you need. Which is Thailand too. You can actually just filter. So you go here and you click Thailand 2. So right now it's only showing you this campaign, this one ad set, and then
So I was just trying to the increase last time to drop.
because you haven't turned it on yet.
Right, I'm not up and add pictures on the
You once you go through the next step and you say click save, then it won't be interruption.
Oh, I see.
You're working on it, so it can't stay live. Say it again. You can just skip that part. That'd be more like advanced. Oh, you're in the next step. Okay. I'm seeing people on the next step, so I'm just going to move on to that part. So once you have set up your ad set, the next step is to go to your ads. And here you would set up your ad name. So if I wanted to target, maybe this is an image of a smiling woman, I might call this smiling woman, so I know just for my mental remembering. Then I choose the page that I want this ad to be created under. So if you're doing clicks to website, I'm sure you've seen in your Facebook timeline or newsfeed, it's like fan page name sponsored, which tells you it's an ad. Okay, so, and it's, you know, like maybe AWeber's running an ad and you see it on your timeline and it's a post with a picture and a call to action and it says AWeber sponsored. So that's what you're doing here. You're so select your fan page here. So Facebook now owns Instagram. So if you have an Instagram account, I just happen to have this connected already, you can put in your Instagram account and that ad will show up on Instagram as well as an ad. If you don't have an Instagram account, don't worry about it. I've actually found that those don't convert as well into more followers or any additional sales. So don't stress out about it. Okay, so the next step is to create the ad, and you have a couple different versions. You have an ad with just one image or video. You can have an ad that has multiple slides. So it's, if you were selling a shirt, for example, it's just pulling it in from the website here. That's why it popped up. So if you're selling a shirt, but it's in many different colors, or maybe you're selling a shirt with a matching necklace with pants, and you're on your phone and you're sliding through and you can look at the different images with the ad. It works also with apps or and software. If you're doing it for your online bizzo business, you could say, you know, get the 7 steps of online marketing. The next one is, you know, if you have a brick and mortar business, this can show you how to do product launches. I mean, you could just kind of create different benefits that people could receive in these slides, and you can add a lot of different, they call them cards. So right now you can see there's 3 cards, but you can do more and more. Just for the sake of this example, and you setting up your first one, just do ad with an image or a video. And then it will look like this, which you probably looks pretty familiar. So the next, Facebook gives you stock photos that you can use in your ads. So if you're just starting out and you don't have a design team, or you need some inspiration, or you don't necessarily need text on your graphics for the ads to be effective. So if you go to this next step here, it's select image, and then go to stock images. And I type in marketing in this example. And it's going to show me a whole lot of different images I can use. So just as a heads up, I did do this after the 20% rule ended, and I picked a graphic with one of their stock graphics, and they disapproved the ad because there's too much text. And so I complained. I said, this is your stock graphic. Why are you harming me? It's so silly. Anyway, so you can pick a whole lot of different graphics, and then all of these, So let's say I'm going to pick this one here, and select that one, and then I can go in the process. Now this one ad will have this one graphic. And in your split testing, you want a couple different ads with different graphics so you can see which graphics do better. Maybe some of your graphics have text, some don't. Maybe one has, maybe it's the same graphic, but you have a different headline, and that would be a totally different split test. So you don't want to be testing multiple things at once. You want to test one thing at a time. So if I'm going to stick with this graphic, and test headlines, I'll have this graphic the same on all of my ads, just changing the text, the headline or the call to action. So one thing at a time. So the easy way to do this is to create the first one, and then for any split tests, just click duplicate, and I'll get the same exact thing, and then I just scroll down and I change my text and test that.
And do you call it a different ad, or it's exactly the same?
So in this, if I were doing headlines, I might say headline 1 and it's about fish. Headline 2, it's about ducks, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever is different about your copy, so that way you can easily look and then know how it's doing.
But they're all in the same group of 6.
Yep, so it's going to be all right here under the one campaign, so you can manage them really well. And what Facebook will do is it automatically watches how your ads are doing, and if the one with headline number 1 does better than all the other ones, it will give preferential treatment to headline number 1 and not to the others after they've determined which one's converting better for you.
So personally, have you found that the advert with one image or video is better, and all video, or with multiple images?
So I do it differently. So we haven't done it for internet marketing niche. I've done it for products. And what I've done is I set up the retargeting. So after someone comes to my webpage, I have the slideshow one for women and I have it for men. So if they go to my webpage and they look at female products and they're female on Facebook, they're going to see all the different colors we have for women. Or if a man, they see the men's version. But and maybe I should spend more time on this, but I feel like with those, when I see the examples in my own newsfeed and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea, I take a snapshot and then I kind of duplicate the process, and I see the whole slideshow option a lot for clothing and decor and kind of things. So I've just kind of modeled it after that. Just a note and a suggestion. Yesterday, or maybe the day before, we talked about inspiration folders or swipe folders. If you see an ad that just speaks to you, I would take a snapshot of it, or take a snapshot of your computer, or if you're on your phone and you have an iPhone, or maybe the other ones do too, you do the click on the power and the button, and you can take a snapshot of your screen and then put that in that folder. So when you're thinking about ads, so maybe in your inspiration folder, you've got ads as a subfolder. You can go back there and see what it was inspiring to you at that moment for ads. That can help you.
Also create an effects, video effects thing. Make Susie, and
yeah, a little whiteboard video.
And include that in the ad.
Totally. Oh yeah, and video ads do really great. So it'd be the same. You'd be choosing the same option here, but instead you'd select upload a video here. Okay, so display URL, and we talked a little bit about this in the beginning. So if you have a long, I mean, in your case, because you've just, I know online Bizzo, you have your one URL and it's a nice clean URL, but let's say you have a long messy URL, you may want to just cut it down to a little shorter. I have also used display URL let's see, let me scroll down this part. So for new WOD bottom buyers, you can get 20% off if you were to buy a ring, and you have to opt in, you get into a list. But if I wanted to run an ad for people that aren't connected to Wadbottom and haven't purchased anything yet, or maybe they've gone to my website but didn't purchase anything, instead of having a display URL, I could say 20% off for new customers or something, and use that space as additional text. No. I mean, maybe they want it to be, but it's just a strategy that you can do. Yeah, and actually, if you wanted to, let's say this goes to your Facebook page, or maybe like I'd put it, if you wanted people go to your Facebook page, you would want it to have them go to your tab that you have in there, or run a like campaign. Like campaigns are pretty expensive though. Like if you're running an ad for likes, they tend to be really expensive. Like $3 a like. The likes, it shows a lot of authority, so it's good, but just know that it's expensive and you shouldn't start out there. You know what? It's break time, so we're going to pick this up after break. But this is really the end. You just, yeah.
Where it says destination Facebook page,
Choose a page.
Does that mean it's going to be shown on that? What does that mean?
Yeah, it's going to be like if you go to Facebook on your phone or your computer and you see an ad, it's the fan page that says sponsored. That's the ad. So we're going to just take a pause here. I can pick up ads when we get back tomorrow, actually, because we're doing the one-on-ones when we get back, and free time. But if you wanted to finish this process up, you can just go through the steps, fill in your text, and that's it. And then you click save, and then that's your ad. So why don't you guys go get your coffee, take a break. We'll come back and I'll turn on the lights and we can just do busy work.